Okay, so we've been talking about family traditions that we had growing up and meal times, and because there's research that they really are important, and we've had both things happen and both stories. Some people had a lot of good memories from that. Some had kind of bad memories, honestly. And so, where are you guys? What was it like growing up? Were there family traditions around meal times that you had? And I'll start with you, Zach. Go ahead. That's right. Yeah.
At home, at our immediate family, there really wasn't. My parents were so involved in church, and my dad also owned a business, so it seemed like every night we were running somewhere.
They were so involved with church.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sad thing, is they were so overprogrammed that every night had something.
Great, okay.
And so it was kind of like grab something. But we did, and actually still do to this day, my grandma, once a week or month, would bring everybody, cousins, aunts, uncles together, and we'd eat over there, and we just did that actually Saturday.
Oh, okay. So that's still going on.
Still goes on,
some of us
yeah.
have that. You have someone in the family that makes these larger things happen. Amanda, what about you?
We did not have family dinners.
Didn't have family dinners?
No, we really didn't. I mean, I don't remember a lot of my childhood, but the memories that I do have, all of them aren't good. So the memories that I have, they weren't ever around the dinner table.
Yeah.
So
well, and I think that's really important. I think it's going to come up in the different groups we're doing, and it's very important that it comes up, because family in the Bible is supposed to be this positive metaphor, but it's not for everybody. It's kind of like Father God is a positive metaphor, but that's not true for everybody in their experience, even though in the ideal it is supposed to be, because I know your family now that you're raising, that's become a positive thing. And Andy, I know you enough to know that you had some pretty good positive family meal kind of stuff. Tell us about your family traditions or family connections.
Yeah, well, a little bit like Zach, Mom and Dad were highly involved in church, so if the doors were open, we were there. Okay. But we had family meals. Yeah. If we were home, we sat around the table and had a meal together. I think I probably take it for granted because it was just what we did. So I didn't know families didn't do that. So
so you thought everybody did that? No, I heard. Is this true or not that you if you served tacos or whatever, your mom would have you wear sombreros or something?
Well, yeah, there was those crazy times every once in a while. Yes,
it was every once in a while. They wasn't like every.
Birthdays
you didn't have to
dress.
So
we do things.
But really, if it was a special event, you'd eat Mexican food and have to dress Mexican.
If Mom knew it was your favorite and it was your birthday, then she did it up big.
Okay, so it was a great idea. It was a great idea.
Yeah.
So talk about your families now. Are you making some attempts to, especially you, Amanda, are kind of those correctives? You didn't have that growing up. So what are you doing now?
Yeah, for us, we have family dinners most nights. It's odd for us to not eat together, and because the kids are home with me all the time, we eat most meals together around the table.
Now, you do have 6 children. That needs to be noted. So what's that like? I mean, is it just chaos
crazy.
all the time and everybody's talking over one another? Do you try to let people take turns?
Yes, because there's 6 kids. We actually do a thing where we call it our happies and our sads, and that gives everyone an opportunity to talk. Okay. And you have to respect everyone around the table because it is crazy, it's loud, and so whenever it is Burke's time to talk, then no one else can talk. Right. And we've kind of had to put in some different rules, like you can only have one happy or you can only have one sad, because they will want to talk the entire time.
Oh, okay. So, are they different from one another? Like some want to share like 4 and the other one wants to share none?
Yes, like kind of works that way? Okay. The teenager is like, I don't want to talk. And then the younger kids are like,
okay, sure. So, there's probably, and Zach, you tried to,
Yeah, we have 3 kids. I almost forgot Jude. We have a 7-month-old. He doesn't eat a lot yet.
It takes a long time to adjust to know there's another one there. Yeah.
So when we're home, we try to always eat around the table, and we do the same kind of thing with highs and lows, and then we get super cheesy sometimes and like, tell me one thing you love about your brother, and do that kind of stuff. But it's just like this.
Okay, that is cheesy. How do they respond? I mean,
Oh man, so Bo is 7 and my second oldest is 4, and when Bo says something he loves about Nash, who's my 4-year-old, he like lights up and he's like, I can't believe you think I'm funny. Like it's actually very a really cool time for my 4-year-old, I don't think Bo cares about it, what Nash thinks of him.
Okay,
but
don't
for
tell
him,
the younger one that.
But for him, it's like it's amazing, and so we love that part of it. Yeah,
That's a good idea. That's a good idea to think about for parents. Just kind of try that with your children, see how that goes. But usually they don't go idyllically like that. Just
right.
so you may try this, and it may.
That's like 1 for 5 on dinners that we make it to that point. Most of the time, it's like stop, do this.
Okay.
But we
Good,
try
right.
to like it's a place to actually stop and be still together for a moment, which doesn't happen very often. So
Right now, Andy, are you guys in your family wearing sombreros now, or do you do?
I haven't done
different
sombreros,
things?
no. But I mean, I have a almost 16-year-old and a 10-year-old, and if you just ask how was your day, you get nothing.
Right.
And so we do try to mix it up a little bit. Like, what did you learn today that you didn't know yesterday, or what made you smile today? I have found that if I ask questions like that, they'll say, "Ask some more, Mom."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's
So
sort of a good question.
Yeah.
So that does bring up something. Just around the dinner table, what have you found besides, maybe what do you love about your brother? Are there questions that you've asked that have elicited kind of almost surprising responses that took it to another level? You ever had one of those?
Oh yeah, Jeff and I, we will randomly ask, like, what's your favorite thing about Mom? What's your favorite thing about Dad? What's something that you would like to see change in our family? And give questions like that and give them opportunity to have a voice, because I think so much, especially the littles, they don't think that they have a voice and that they matter, but they do. And so we try to give them, and just like Andy said, we try to spur on those things and make them think, to be able to think a little bit deeper. And so spurring that on, like, what's something that you would like to see change in our family, or even in a person, just kind of like Zach said, what's the favorite thing about, a sibling, that can really dig deep into them.
And that does dig to the metaphor of church, because the art of a good question can elicit those kinds of things. So I do want to shift over to that. Like, as we challenge people to be in groups, be in teams, talk about a little bit about your experiences with that. Did you have that time when you showed up for the first time at a group and felt awkward or felt welcomed or any of that kind of thing? I'll start with you, Zach, again.
Yeah. The first time I was ever not either growing up where my parents were in a church or on staff at a church was in Nashville. And so groups and all that had just always been natural and normal to us, so I didn't expect anything to be weird. But when we were strangers in a church, first time trying to connect, and we actually got in a small group, we would put ourselves out there, and they're like, okay, just go to this house, and they're going to grill out and stuff. I remember walking in, ringing the doorbell. I remember sitting in the driveway like, sure you don't want to bail on this? This is weird. And then going in, and it was really... It was really awkward for us.
You're supposed to say it wasn't awkward at all. That way, people out there are just like, hey, that's great. I want to do that. But it was totally awkward.
It was totally awkward for us.
Did you go back?
We did go back. There was a lot of awkward things about that particular group.
It's because it's Nashville. I mean, I think that's
like two of us didn't have kids, and the thing that they decided to study was parenting. And so we hung for as long as we could, and then we disappeared.
You could have made up stuff. Just say, and act like you're a parent. And just kind of started throwing out all this advice and everything. So, so you had an awkward. Have you ever been able to settle into a non-awkward group experience, especially now that you're at one life?
Yeah,
and as a pastor.
I think the answer to say is yes. No, I have. We have done a number of groups now that have been great experiences. That was just the first time that we were strangers trying to connect, and it was strange for us.
Well, staying with that, do you have any advice for people who don't feel connected and they're thinking about stepping into that? I mean, put yourself in their shoes. Any words of insight that you could offer?
I mean, more the things that I would challenge, I guess, people that are strangers trying to connect, and just leaders within the church. It would have been so much better had we known someone and went with them to a group. If we'd have done dinner with somebody first, met somebody, said, hey, let's hang out, let's eat dinner, let's get coffee, something like that. But instead, we had not met anybody in those couple months that we were there, so we were total strangers.
That's a good word. The leaders out there, you don't want someone signing a clipboard and then showing up in a dress, and because that would be awkward for everybody. What about you guys? Did you remember that first group experience? Good, bad, indifferent? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've been in several groups, and I've seen both sides with the awkward and someone sitting up there leading with their book, and everyone's just kind of staring at that person, and no one speaks.
Right.
But I've also been in a group
Does that
where
happen here at One Life? No, I'm kidding.
I'm not going to.
Okay, all right.
But I've also been in a group where when we've gone out to dinner around a table, and you just kind of let your guard down, and it's just been, we've connected so well. We've traveled. I've been in a group where we've traveled together, or we're at each other's kids' birthday parties,
Right.
and it was just, we just connected well in those environments.
Right.
So I've kind of seen both sides of it.
Yeah, and do you have like any advice for people who are thinking about, okay, I want to step out, I've never done this group thing at all before? What would you say, just based on your own experience?
Oh, well, I would say that the group that we've most connected with, we did know ahead of time. Like, we knew they were our friends, and we decided that, hey, guys, let's start a group and let's do life together.
So you guys actually started it and just,
Yeah.
and then kind of walked it out together.
Yeah, but invited people into that too as well,
Yeah.
that we became friends with and grew close to.
Right.
So that would be, if you know someone, get started
Yeah,
that way.
there's a little bit of a chicken egg thing that goes on there. If you're a stranger and you're walking in, I
Yeah.
got to figure out how to know somebody. So that would be for our leaders. We
But
need to
I
add
also
that,
think
that-
getting out of the living room kind of environment at first when you're starting a group or when you're starting to connect, go, play putt-putt together or go to
that
dinner
makes sense.
together.
So don't have the guy sitting there with
Yeah.
his book and asking questions like I am right now. Just saying, hey, okay.
Yeah.
And Amanda, first experience. You remember that?
I
Is
can't
that burned in
remember
your brain
back
now?
in first experience, but we have been in so many groups, and we've led a lot of groups also. And I would say, as far as we've had great experiences, really, I would say most of our group experiences have been amazing, and really we've built lifelong friends. But I would say I think Zach and Andy have a lot of great input on knowing someone, but the reality of it is there's people walking in these doors that don't know anyone. And so to those people, I would say it's okay to not know anyone, and it's okay to be brave. And that those leaders that have those people that come in, just make them feel welcome, ask good questions, and be willing to kind of go through those hard times where you kind of have to ask just not awkward questions, but you have to be willing to get to know someone and be more important that you learn about them than they learn about you. Does that make sense?
That does
Yeah.
make a lot of sense.